Okay, KeyRenterStGeorge.com. Becky, I'm going to ask you to take point on this one. Key Renter is a national franchise. This is obviously a local site. So first off, they're going with KeyRenterStGeorge.com as opposed to what Renter's Warehouse did, where they're directing people to a corporate site and then funneling them to some kind of a local site. So this is a local presence. Becky,
so I
immediate
thought overall it was
impression.
pretty good. I
think?
mean, this is interesting. I'd love to hear Alex's take on this, but they're actually, their property management page is their home page. So it's a little bit different, with how we would normally structure a site. But, I'd say great use of that hero image. I would definitely put a call to action there, a big button directing them to get a quote or a rental analysis again. It's going to be pretty consistent. If you're going to use that space, you may as well have the most bang for your buck there. Again, I do think just going down, if you want to scroll down a little bit, the contact us now, again, it could just be a little bit more intentional on these buttons. Maybe I don't want to just contact you if I need something more specific, with more of a direct button naming there. I think the testimonials are good. I think discover our services. I like how it's visually broken up. It's easy for me to read. I can go see more services if I'm interested, and then you have another free consultation. So I think overall they did a really good job. My comments just with how we would structure a site would be more on just that, how to, structuring the pages of the site. I would have more geo-targeted landing pages rather than using this as the home page, but I would love to hear what Alex and what you guys have to say about that. We typically don't, set up our sites like that, so I'm really curious about that.
Yeah. So good, all good points. One thing quick before I comment on the validity of a landing page on a home page. The chat is an excellent way to convert, but you have to staff it with the right people. You can't neglect that. So the chat is a great feature for us. We answer a lot of questions on chat, and we convert a lot of people into prospects, into leads via the chat. But you have to staff it, and people need to be smart, need to know how to answer questions. They need to be able to convey information. And you have to come up with a good first question, because when you go on Fourandhalf.com, the chat pops up and says, how much are you looking to grow your property management company in the next year? It's a very specific question. What does this one say? You please update your info, life support. I don't like that. So that's already right there. That just that looks like a missed opportunity. I don't understand, why do I need to update my info? And it's not live support too. It's do you have any questions? Do you need help managing your property? So you need to invoke somebody to talk to you on chat. It's a great conversion tool, but again, it needs, like, the salesperson needs to be in charge of that. Otherwise, it's a wasted opportunity. Now, I like the fact that on your homepage talks to your owner prospects, but you have to have an out for tenants. So you have to have a clear and consistent out for tenants. You need to show owners that you care about tenants. And I would actually, if you want to talk to owners on your landing page, I would have some kind of a call out for tenants to easily find their own section, like where look for a home, log in, submit maintenance request. It's not very prominent here.
Alex, are you talking about prospective or current tenants when you say that?
Both. This homepage talks to owners. I'm talking about like your other constituents, which are also your customers. They need a section too, and I'm not sure where do I go to find that section.
Yeah,
here.
To me, it's more of a landing page more than a homepage.
Yeah. Agreed. And there's some truth. Again, this will convert better, but again, you need to find a quick way to partition the traffic into the right section, and then talk to your owner, because the tenants are lost at this point here, and I don't know if that's the best thing. But overall, a pretty good website, I have to say.
Yeah. So right here it says schedule a free consultation. Becky, I want to throw something at you. I use a service called Calendly to schedule events, and it's basically a way for somebody for me to allow somebody else to pick a time on my calendar. It syncs with Google Calendar. It's a really solid service, and it basically shows a schedule of the dates that I'm available and allows them to pick one. You can actually embed this in your website. We haven't even done this yet. We actually throw people to Calendly, but I'm looking at embedding it on our website. Any thought on offering that? Because right here it says schedule a free consultation. Presumably, I'm basically just going to get an email saying, hey, when are you available? Do you think that it is appropriate and legitimate to allow people to actually go all the way through scheduling something
Oh,
with
I
an
think it's a
actual person like
fantastic
embedded on
idea.
the site?
Everybody's busy, right? Especially property managers. So I think if they can just take that into their own hands and the calendar is pretty robust, that it is accurate, I think it's fantastic. I would love that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so I don't know what to think of this. To be honest with you, I always thought that this is a bit presumptive, thinking that you're too busy. But on the other hand, it is really, you can be available and you have to, because, everybody wants to try to get to the lead in 5 minutes or 10 minutes. This gives you an opportunity to call them at the designated time, which might be good. What I would say is this, Jordan, test it to see if it works for you. And have two versions floating out there, record the results and use the strategy that works best.
Yeah, that's a decent idea. I mean, testing is hard for property managers because they're local small businesses and they typically don't have enough data, meaning enough visitors to actually have a valid sample set. But in this instance, it certainly is conceivable something you could do. I think that sort of a thing belongs deeper, like on an inner site page as opposed to on the homepage. But this is what that looks like in practice. This is a random company, snapprojections.com, run by a friend. And if I go here and I want to schedule a demo, this is on his website. I'm going to pick a day, I'm going to pick a time, and then I'm going to fill out my details, and then boom, I've got something set on the books. I like that, and it's a lot more painless than the friction of having to go back and forth coordinating schedules. So I think there's merit there, but I don't want to get too hung up on that. I want to keep moving. We're going to do 0 more.